Hello everybody, me again. Part 3 of my flying the classic airliners in P3D videos. First 2 videos probably worth watching, but we're ready to go here at Sky Harbor, Phoenix Sky Harbor, off to Burbank in the DC-9. Just a point about the charts I didn't mention in the last video is a lot of the charts now are NAV departures, and they're pretty useless to us because they're taking GPS waypoints here. They're not using VOR radio navigation, so we can't use those. And you can see that 80-90% of these departures are NAV departures. You can see that, but we do have quite a few still. I love this part of the world: Los Angeles, Vegas, Phoenix, there's Salt Lake City. So many VOR departures and arrivals still in use, or there's charts for them at least, so I can still fly this way. So just be careful on that. Find Australia now is pretty much just RNAV departures. Europe's getting a little bit that way, but there we go. So we're ready to go. We're going to fly out here. The flying will be terrible here because I'm going to be talking and just concentrating on the navigation, but we're going to fly out here on heading runway heading. Then we're going to turn at 1,550 feet. We're going to turn at heading at 240, and then we're going to, after 13 miles, we've got some time to chill there, get things set. Then we're going to turn on at 280 heading and intercept the radial into Buckeye. That'll probably be the extent of this video. I will use the autopilot, which does take a little bit of attention. That's down here, just so this is kind of typical autopilot for this era, I guess. We've got a few modes, so I call this my FMC frequency, and these are the modes or switches. Autopilot master switch on here. Ooh, what happened to my trim? Oh my god, that's not good. That's autopilot disconnect, so I've got to trim this back up here while we're talking. Then I've got, this is really the LNAV, you could say. We've got turn knob. What that means is that's so manual, also heading. So we'd keep this on turn knob and then hit heading select on to fly a heading. If we wanted to fly a radial or just the localizer on an approach, we'd switch to nav loc. Then if we want to then switch to the ILS to capture the glide slope, we fly ILS. And then if we manual glide slope, that is, I think, when you want to intercept the glide slope from above, I think. So we're going to keep it on turn knob. We're gonna go over here and say this. Then here is our, so there's the FMC, the radio. Here's the LNAV. Here's the VNAV. Vertical speed, that's quite straightforward. We turn this knob here to go up or down. Simple. In the climb, what's very useful, get to a nice climb speed and then flick in IAS hold, and then the aircraft will pitch to keep that speed depending on what power you have, which is great. And then when we get to transition to Mach, we switch over to Mach hold, which is about 27 or 8,000 feet. It's fantastic. We can use pitch hold as well, but I don't tend to use that. So we're going to take off in heading select, or engage heading select. Then we'll be in vertical speed, I guess, at first, and then when I get to a good speed, climb speed, I'm going to keep it slow here, so I've got time, probably 220 knots or something. I'll engage IAS hold. My trim's in the green band. I'm not going to worry about exactly where I should be. Let's keep it on 6 degrees. There we go. Good. So ready to go. Let's just have a little look around at this wonderful aircraft before we take off. Absolutely love it. Look at this thing. Beautiful. Great livery as well. Excellent. Wonderful. Okay, I know you're not here to see the DC-9, but my favourite aircraft. Yeah, no wing flex. Whoopie-doo. Okay, so we'll probably have a head-on with one of the AI traffic here. So I'm going to push forward the throttles to 1.96 EPR here,
Parking brake
which is where my bugs have been set at. Sounds about right, sounds legit. Always forget my rudder pedals when I'm doing a video. So off we go. Let's turn up the sound. Keep it straight. Good, there we go. A little bit too much power. Like I say, I'm not going to be worrying too much about the flying here. This is just about the correctness of the flying. This is just about me talking and not really concentrating. So here we go. Got my pitch to go around pitch. Keep that nose up
V1.
in a minute.
Rotate. V2.
Beautiful.
V2 plus 10.
P3D stutters. Amazing. Gear up.
Flaps retracted.
Keep the slats out for the moment.
Up and lock.
I'll just trim her up at the moment so the speed starts increasing. 1,550 feet it said. We're going to fly a heading of 240. I'll fly that manually for the moment. 240. There we go. Do you see the VOR picked up the Buckeye VOR then? Okay, there we go. So we're good there. Now we're going to keep on this 240 heading until we get to 13 miles. 13 miles on the FO's VOR. So I'm going to pitch her down a little bit now. Build up the speed. Slightly off heading there. Right, time for the autopilot I think, so I can concentrate a little bit more on the video. So engage, we're on turn knob, which means heading manual. There we go. We're on vertical speed. Climb power, I forgot that, talking too much. Should do about 92%. Speed's building up nicely. Let's wait. Actually, I'll pump up this. Oops, I hate that. Pump up the speed a little bit. Come on, let's put it at 250 knots. Just below that. No, save time, come on. There we go, 230 knots. Got to our speed we want. IAS hold. Now the aircraft will just start pitching to keep this speed now. Okay, good. So, where are we? As per chart, we need to fly to 13 miles, which is here. What I can do is switch the frequencies here quickly to get the DME. So when I fly out to 13 miles, I then need to fly a heading of 280.
How's to go?
That's my 10,000 feet. Sorry, 8,000 feet. I'm just going to presume we've been cleared up to, I don't know, 24,000, something like that. Good. Waiting here for 13 miles. There you go. IAS hold 230. 12 miles. Let's anticipate a little bit. And then we want to fly a heading of 280. Which is right there. Don't need the DME anymore. So let's switch back to, this will be the Phoenix VOR. Let's switch back to the Buckeye VOR. If we look on the chart, actually let's put our, I don't normally enable moving maps because I find it a little bit cheating. I may as well use an FMC and follow the magenta line if I'm going to do it on the sim here. But there we go, pretty good. Not always exactly on the heading we want to be or on the line we want to be, but we're pretty much on it. So here in a moment we're going to intercept this radial into the Buckeye VOR. I've got it, the needle set here at 257 degrees, which is the radial we should be flying, 257 degrees towards the Buckeye VOR. Super. And you'll start to see this needle now. I think this one point, I think it's 5 miles, 5 degrees, I don't know. Somebody will maybe help me in the comments with that. But this needle, because this is the direction of the VOR, we're flying a little bit an angle to join this radial, and when this needle swings across here to the center, that means we're on the VOR radial, and then we'd have to fly the heading here to keep this needle here. But of course then you have crosswinds to take care of. So as the needle's moving across now, I'm going to consult the FMC. Now I'm going to switch over now from heading mode to nav loc, and the autopilot now will follow this radial. It will, you'll see, we'll start slowly turning to the left now when this needle swings across to the center. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Love this aircraft. Love this aircraft so much. So there we go. Now we're on the radial 257 into the Buckeye VOR. Fantastic. I'll sync my heading. Doesn't look like we've got a lot of crosswind up here. Just tidy up my flight directors, but not too important for today. Actually pitch up increase the speed a bit now, so climb speed wants to be about, I think, 270 knots. Excuse me. This is just a reference speed mark. You see the speed's not changing. I have to do that manually, but let's navigation first. 19 miles away from the VOR, so as I said in one of the other videos, as we get closer to the VOR, the needle will start swinging all over the place. The autopilot will try to follow the needle and end up zigzagging all over the place. So what I do when I get close and the needle's pretty centered and settled, you can see if I just swing my heading 2-3 degrees to the left, that should keep us on that radial. So I'll actually switch into heading mode. Find it keeps it a little bit more sensible. Good. So need to do some quick things now, but let's increase the speed a little bit. So we're in IAS mode. We're going to need to go to vertical speed. I'm going to pitch down, so the speed will build up. Maybe overdid that, but I'm trying to speed things up for this video. And I've probably forgot something. Still got my slats out. Look at that.
Flaps up, slat retracted.
I'll help her increase speed a little bit. Still got the landing lights on. Like I said, it's not a flying video, it's just a navigation video. And I love the workload. You can see there's a load of work to be done here. That's why I never get bored of this flying type of flying. So happy with the speed, getting up to climb speed now. Flick back to IS hold. Now we need to be quick here. So when we hit this VOR station here, then we need to fly out on our route. Just to make it a little bit interesting, because 262 is very similar to 257. We'll fly out to the Parker VOR. Hopefully we can pick that up, but if we don't, it's not a big deal. So we're going to tune 117.9 down here. We'll do that on the FO radio. Let's see if we picked him up. So you can see here, yeah, we've got a DME 109 miles. We've got the needle live, active, whatever you want to call it, and we need to fly to that VOR on a 279 radial. So let's get that tune 279, and we're pretty much on it. You can see that because we're so close to this VOR, and you can see the needle has gone a little bit off here, but I'm not going to chase it too much because we're so close to the VOR. This is the Buckeye VOR here. So let's have a little look what happens. We're on heading mode, so nothing bad is going to happen. Let's see here, we're 5 miles away from the VOR, 20,000 feet. Let's see here, now we should maybe just lose the signal of the VOR when we're straight on top of it now, which is kind of cool. And then when I lose that, I know we're pretty much over the station, and I'm going to then set the heading at 279, so we're flying in the direction of the Parker VOR. Let's have a look. Come on. Oh, sorry. Wrong button. So you see now the needle is way off, but don't forget we're right over the station, so the accuracy is going to be amplified. We're going to lose the signal here. 3 miles. DME. It's kind of funny because oh, there we go. We've lost the signal. It's inactive. DME's vanished. It's like a little black hole over the station. It's kind of cool. So let's swing around now. Can't remember where we were. Oh, there we go. We've picked her up again, and now we're 3 miles on the other side of the VOR. Kind of cool. Just going to switch over the frequencies here. And what do we need? Was it 257? Yeah, we need to fly out 257 here. 257 degree radial, so we can see here we're a little bit off course on a heading, but I'm on an intercept heading here, which is kind of cool. So now I'll let the autopilot find that VOR needle here. I'll find that radial. Let's have a look at our chart. How we're doing? Yeah, we're pretty good. We're pretty much on the radial. Oh no, sorry, way out. 279 degrees we want to be. Sorry about that. Talking never works. There we go. That looks better now. Yeah, talking and navigating doesn't work. Sterile cockpit and all that. Maybe a good thing. So let the autopilot now.
1,000 to go.
Get on that radial. Looking good. 1,000 to go. Thank you. All right. Don't know what we're going to cruise at today. Let's say 320. Good. All looking good. Happy. Great. So that's the departure pretty much done. We've flown out here. We've used heading to under DME off 1 VOR. Then we've used heading to intercept a VOR here. Then we've switched frequencies to fly outbound. On this radial, Juliet 4 airway. Pretty cool. So if we're on an airway and we have an airway is basically a line between two VORs in the olden days, and if we've got both of these VORs tuned and we're on the airway, then on the RMI here we should have one arrow pointing forwards and one pointing backwards pretty much, and if they stay like that, we're on the airway. All good. So there we go. Yeah, a little crosswind here from the left, so you can see the let's zoom in there. Yeah, our autopilot heading is 10 degrees offset to the radial, which is pretty good. Great. That's it. Time to look out the side, but oh no, no clouds. Here we go. Beautiful part of the world. I normally get very distracted. Love this part of the world in real life and in the sim. Awesome scenery here. Mega scenery Earth, Arizona with autogen, and in the distance we'll probably see soon, I can't see it yet, a darker area of true Earth, SoCal. So there we go, all good. Going to settle into the cruise here. Actually, I'll finish this flight, and if the weather's good in Burbank, do the 4 stacks visual approach, which is brilliant. Let's have a quick look at that. Active flight. Oh, that's good. We've already got the flight active here. Burbank. Let's have a look at the charts there. The approaches and the 4 stacks visual. Love it. So here's the airport here. Here's the San Bernardino Mountains. Oh, sorry, San Gabriel Mountains. What I normally do, we'll fly to the Fillmore VOR here, and then we fly out bound 080 degrees, and then it's all manual now on heading, and we're going to miss the top of this mountain here, Oak Mountain at 5,000 feet. Fantastic. Then skirt the mountains here. I always get the feeling I'm going to crash straight into these mountains here at 3,000 feet as a returning final. It's amazing. And the 4 stacks is this power plant here, all modelled nicely in in SoCal, True Earth, and then turn into runway 15 if there's not too much wind, crosswind, crazy wind. Do the visual approach. One of my favourite airports, Burbank. Thanks Orbix, fantastic. Great. Where are we? Let's zoom out here a little bit. Yeah, I didn't put any procedures in here, so you can see here we should be on the Juliet 4 airway. We're a little bit off there, but that's okay. To the Parker VOR. Then from there we're going to fly along here to the 29 Palms VOR, which is kind of cool. From there you get great view of Palm Springs down here. Fantastic, love it. Then we're going to fly. Then we're probably going to be on the star. Let's have a look which star we're going to look at here. Which one are we going to fly? haven't really planned it too great at the moment. Just wanted to show you that at departure. Yeah, I would fly. I don't know which one. Gotta just look for one with. Oh, I can't find it. Anyway, probably going to be the Janny 4. Can't find 29 palms on here, but it's all good. We're not going to crash. Great. Thank you. VOR navigation for dummies. As one of my great friends would always ask me, hydraulics are off in the climb. Mr. Mad Dog. Thank you. Sorry, forgot that part. Yes, they're off. Great. Oh, why not? We're just coming up to cruise altitude here, so already by now I should be in Mach hold. You can see here I'm at Mach 7.0. Want to be climbing at about 0.66, so we would actually be, we'd hit 0.66 Mach and then Mach hold. It's about 27 or 8,000 feet normally. My altimeter still is not on standard. There we go. So here we go. We've got in the altitude warning. This is just nothing to do with navigation, just cool sky, DC9 procedures. When we get to 1,000 feet, Copilot will tell me. We'll get a warning. We'll get the light, which will extinguish at about 300 to go. Just a warning to say you're coming up to cruise altitude. Power setting's way too high, but it's not a flying video. And when we get to our cruise altitude, we just have to hit this altitude hold switch. And just takes a little practice to hit it exactly. Normally you get a bit of turbulence just as you want to hit it exactly at 32,000. 100 feet to go. See the lights extinguished, so we should be alert here. And there we go. Plane should pitch down, level off. Actually here we were a little bit over, but I hit it at 320, so it will just probably go 100 or 200 feet. There we go. Beautiful aircraft. Just to level off exactly where we want to be. Now it's just a case of cruise power, 85-ish % N1, somewhere around about there, 85, 86 normally works, which then the speed will just slowly build up. Should stay at about Mach 0.74, which I normally just use the red marker for that. There we go, 20 feet above. Yeah, that's okay. If we want to get rid of that 20 feet, just quickly go down here, vertical speed, pitch the nose down a second. There we go. 32,000. Altitude hold back on. Perfect. There we go. Thanks a lot. Heading sync. And thanks for watching. This video is longer than I wanted to be, but you're probably still not here. And for those of you that are, thanks a lot. Bye bye.